1 Peter 3:15. But in your hearts revere Christ as Lord. Always be prepared to give an answer. Explanation. Encouragement to be ready to share faith with others. James 1:2-3. Consider it pure joy, my brothers and sisters, whenever you face trials. Explanation. The growth that comes from facing difficulties. Psalm 91, 1-2. Whoever dwells in the secret place of the Most High will rest in the shadow of the Almighty. Explanation. The safety and rest found in God's presence. Revelation 21:4. He will wipe every tear from their eyes. There will be no more death or mourning. Explanation. Promise of future restoration and comfort in eternity. Romans 1:16. For I am not ashamed of the gospel, because it is the power of God that brings salvation. Explanation. Confidence in the power of the gospel message.
All right, welcome in everyone, get comfy, and let's get ready for another deep dive.
Yeah, excited for this one.
Me too. We're tackling something pretty universal today, something everyone can relate to, I think. Encouraging words.
Powerful stuff.
Exactly. And, we've got this amazing collection of Bible verses to work with today, each with a little bit of background, and we're going to try to figure out what makes them tick, why they resonate so strongly.
Sounds good.
We've got James 1.23.
Oh, good one.
Psalm 91.1-2.
Classic.
1 Peter 3.15.
A bit of a challenge there, but interesting.
Definitely. And then, of course, we have to touch on Revelation 21.4, right?
Always love that one.
Who doesn't? So we'll be looking at how faith helps us face tough times, how we share those beliefs, and then, that glimpse of hope for the future. A little something for everyone, I think.
Yeah, and what strikes me about these verses, this particular set, is that they really do speak to the whole human experience. We've got verses here that deal with struggling, with hoping, with living in the world. It's really quite something.
You're absolutely right. It's like a roadmap, almost.
Hmm.
But okay, let's start with one that always throws me for a loop. James 1.23. It says, and I'm paraphrasing here, to think of it as pure joy when you face trials. Pure joy. Really. In the middle of tough times.
It sounds crazy, right?
Let's let it, yeah.
But imagine it this way. When you're working out, lifting weights, you're actually tearing your muscles, right?
Yeah, hurts so good, as they say.
Exactly. And it hurts in the moment, but those little tears, that's how your muscles get stronger. They rebuild, come back better than before.
Makes sense.
And James is saying that those tough times, they do the same thing for us. For our spirits, they refine us. They push us to grow, help us build up a kind of resilience we wouldn't have otherwise. And the word for trials here, it actually means like testing with a purpose.
Interesting.
Like refining gold with fire. It's about making something better, stronger.
Powerful imagery. So it's not about liking the trial itself.
Right.
But about seeing the potential for growth in it. And that ties in perfectly with Psalm 91.1-2, which, talks about finding strength in a different way. It talks about dwelling in the secret place of the Most High and finding rest in his shadow. What is that secret place?
Oh, it's such a beautiful way to describe it, isn't it? That feeling of deep connection with something bigger than yourself, a place of peace, a refuge, and you can go there no matter what's happening around you. And the word for shadow here, in Hebrew, it really evokes this feeling of protection, like being sheltered under the wing of a powerful bird.
Wow, yeah. So it's like, while James is all about finding strength from within, right, during the tough times, the psalmist is talking about strength that comes from feeling connected, protected by something bigger than us.
Right, it's a powerful distinction, isn't it?
It really is. But then there's that moment, right, when we're called to share our faith with others, and that's where 1 Peter 3.15 comes in and says, be prepared to give an answer for the hope we have, which, it can be a little intimidating, especially today, when faith, it doesn't always feel welcome in every conversation.
Oh, for sure, for sure. But you hit on something important there. It says to be prepared. It doesn't say to go out and pick fights or, shove your beliefs down anyone's throat.
Right, right.
And that word answer, it's translated from the Greek word apologia, which really means more like a reasoned defense, offered with gentleness and respect. It's about dialogue, articulating what you believe in a way that people can hear.
More about sharing than forcing it.
Exactly.
And that makes me think of Romans 1.16. It talks about the power of the gospel message. That it's not our fancy arguments ultimately that persuade people, it's the truth of the message itself.
Yeah, that's at the heart of it. And what's interesting about Romans, is the context. Paul was writing to a community. They were facing really intense persecution, but he was still so confident in the power of that message, the gospel, to change people's lives. And it's a message that has resonated really for centuries across cultures, and that's because it speaks to a deep need that we all have, a need for hope, for redemption.
It's a universal message, really. Speaking of hope, we have to talk about our last verse, right? Revelation 21.4.
Yeah.
It paints this incredible picture of the future where God will wipe every tear from their eyes. There will be no more death or mourning or crying or pain, for the old order of things has passed away. I mean, just reading those words, it brings a sense of peace, you know?
Doesn't it? It's this powerful image of ultimate healing, of restoration. And the Greek word there for wipe away, it's so vivid. It's not just drying tears, it's like erasing them completely as if they never even existed. And then when you think about eternity, the word in Greek, aion, it doesn't just mean endless time. It implies like a quality of existence beyond anything we can really grasp right now. It's really something to think about.
It really stretches the imagination, doesn't it? So, okay, we've got strength for the hard times. We've got that confidence to share what we believe. And then this almost unbelievable hope for the future. It's like each verse is a different tool for dealing with life, you know?
Yeah, I like that. A toolbox for life.
Exactly. But it makes me wonder, we've been looking at these verses one by one, but what happens when we put them all together? What bigger picture do we get?
That is the question, isn't it?
It is. And that's something I want you all to think about. Take some time with these verses on your own, maybe even go back and read the whole chapters they come from. See how they fit together. And as you do, ask yourself, how do these words speak to your life, to what you're going through, to what you're hoping for?
Good stuff.
Thanks for diving in with us.
Always a pleasure.
We'll see you next time.